and dinner at Woodbine. So bring lots of money to lose at the trap. Anyway, so on with the event. Mr. Steve Gunning, thank you.
One of the few wine and music concerts I've ever seen sell out. The place was packed. Wines are judged in a double-blind system, which means the judges have no idea what's in the glass. All they get is a glass and a number. And they're awarded on a point system, which equates to either gold, silver, bronze, or merit. The wines are judged in their categories to their typicity, which means Rieslings are judged as Rieslings, Cabs and family is judged as Cab, so there's no crossover, and apples against apples. Through these quickly, Smith & Wilson Sauvignon Blanc received a silver medal. Now let me just give you a few interesting facts about this wine. It is 100% Sauvignon Blanc. It was harvested at 22.8 bricks. This thing is a monster. They stuffed it with 9 grams per liter of residual sugar. That would probably be almost a 3. And yet it doesn't show pineapple, hints of lemon, full, complex, and steer. Like it's rough. Even after all these years. $14. That's not a lot of cash.
Do you agree that it's not there the way it is in a lot
it's
of
not.
others?
That's why I said it's not atypical.
Okay.
It's not atypical.
Where's the extra sweetness sort of covered it up?
No. The thing about esters is what we smell, and what they are is they're chemical derivatives of alcohol and acids. Remember that when wine is in a bottle, it's in an alcoholic solution. Alcohol is a solvent. So chemicals are ripped apart and rebuilt all the time in a bottle. And that's this aging process. They call this reductive. So if those acids were there to combine with those ethanols to create those esters, they would be there. The other thing too is in modern winemaking, although they will not admit it, they use a lot of enzymes to extract smells from things like Sauvignon Blanc. And these people may have that philosophy, they didn't need to do it. But don't forget, this is an emerging wine region. They haven't had a chance to look over their own wines over 10 years. They probably haven't even tasted their own library wines. So they don't know what happens down the road. It takes a lifetime to do that. You get it right just before you retire. So, they're experimenting, and just as we are. But the question is, this has pinned-hold itself in a specific stylistic category. Do you like it as a consumer? Because it's not atypical of wine purchasing. Remember, you can buy anything online these days. So if you have, you're sweet in one of these wines, you can order it, and they'll deliver. It's not a big deal anymore to get stuff that's the other end of the province, should I say. Okay, so this one passed. This is great. Okay, so moving along to the 2007 Riesling Reserve Gold Medal, Colio Estates.
Like a Moselle or a German.
Yeah, certainly. But it does suggest
Age.
Premature age.
Premature. Well, I was going to say that.
Yeah, premature age. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is, yeah.
So this is a 2007, so she's, 4 years old and she's probably peaked.
Yeah.
Which is, as a consumer, one of the great sins that winemakers do. Right here, this one? I keep my wines too long. And you need to taste your stock and know when it's going to head over the hill. So if I was owning this one now, I'd be drinking it. So, yeah. The great question is, this was a gold medal. Would you still give it a gold medal? A world standard Riesling still deserves gold. And there's 3 categories in this one: yes, no, or maybe.
No.
Well, it depends on the organization. Hartford uses a 100-point system and uses 3 points. In our case, in Wine Judges of Canada, we adopt more of the British system. A gold to us is anywhere from 90 to 100 points. But the point system is relevant. It could be happy faces. Yes, but a bad Riesling in Lake Erie, because believe it or not, 08 and Lake Erie North Shore was a hot year. Like I say, they don't necessarily line up. Same with Prince Edward County. It depends on the climatic conditions. When we were making wine, we used to look at rainfall. And we found that one vineyard would get the rainfall, and across the street it would be bone dry. So that, what the hell? You know, it's very hard to predict. It's also like vintage charts. You know, Burgundy was 96 in this year. But the fact is, it's not all of Burgundy, right? It's a generalization. It doesn't necessarily work. And as consumers, you need to do a little more questioning, a little more research to get the products that you want, and then keep notes. That's the greatest weapon you can have, is keep records of what you're doing and what you're tasting, because there's nothing worse than going to a party and, oh, what was that wine I bought 6 months ago? I can't remember. You go to the LCBO, there's a wall of wine. You can't remember. So keep track of what you're tasting and what you like. And that really helps in the bottom line, it really does. Next, third white wine on the list of our Chardonnay Gewürztraminer, which is obviously a lifestyle wine, a blend made for the popular masses and also to handle large quantities of crops. An interesting blend, nonetheless. So this got a gold in its original submission, and I would say it's, my notes were it's good fruit, a little dusty, mineral citrus, full mill, but a little lean in the finish. So Gewürztraminer is bitter. And so, I mean, if you look at the winemaker when he's blending this stuff, what's he thinking? Right, his boss is probably telling him he needs, to hit this target market, we need a fruity white. He looks at the stock, what we got in volume. Okay, so we have a Gewürztraminer, which has a very specific flavor profile to bitterness. And we have Chardonnay, which Chardonnay without oak doesn't have a lot of flavors, like Palomino, extremely well with food. But as North Americans, we're used to a more fruitier profile, more leasy, more buttered, more structured. Colio, 2007 Cabernet Franc. Now, Colio is one heck of a big producer. They have a cooperage cave which can hold 2.4 million liters. That would even keep me going for a weekend. But I have to admit that when Carlo was the main winemaker, I had the most eureka moments with Colio, especially their CEV Signature Series reds that would occasionally end up at the LCBO at really good prices. 1999, 2000, 2002, and 2005, Cab Family just blew me away. They were incredible wines. But you very seldom see them labeled as that. So it is, in a ripe year, it can be glorious. But in an unripe year, it's probably characterized more by a green, peppery, almost Parisine type flavor, which is Parisine is the bitterness in a bell pepper, a green bell pepper. So, and in the 90s, Cabernet Franc was like a holy grail in Ontario. This is going to be our signature.
Yeah, if it needs a hot summer, how can Cabernet Franc be our...
Precisely.
It's almost like a...
With a little note, it was Thomas Jefferson who once said that in beer there is wisdom, in wine there is freedom, in water there is bacteria.